We all know that you can make some pretty good money on timber, but what if you want to make a little bit more? Why not buy yourself a sawmill? But is it a good investment? Let's find out. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. How's it going, everybody? Driver53 here, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the sawmills to see if they are a worthwhile investment here for Farming Simulator 25. Now, you have three different options for sawmills. You have a large sawmill, a small sawmill, and then a sawmill, which is actually called the Wood Miser LT15. Wood is the only input that you need here for a sawmill, and you're going to be able to get 5 different items on your output. Let's go and take a look here at the spreadsheet. First columns you can see here are the input and the peak easy input sell price. Like I said, wood is the only thing you're going to be able to put in here. Now, the value of $3,000, that is on easy economy. That's at its peak price. Now, that's based on the fluctuation prices and everything that you're able to see there in the game and according to the XMLs. You bring high quality lumber over here, it is roughly about $3,000 per 1,000 liters. But if you bring some inferior wood over here, you're not able to get that much out of it. And that's if you're just selling it. So if you're actually taking inferior wood and you're wanting to use it in your productions, that's what I highly recommend, because you're not going to be able to make the money on it in selling, and it's going to be a little bit under that $3,000. So the values that you see a little bit later in this chart, it's all based on peak price and really, really good lumber. So let's remember that some of the values that you're seeing a little bit later, you can probably make a little bit more money than what it's showing here on this chart, but everything's based on the $3,000. And also, if you're playing on normal economy, it's going to be 60% of these values. And if you're playing on hard economy, it's going to be 33% of these values. The next two columns that you see here are your input quantity per cycle and your input value per cycle. Now, the input quantity that you're going to need is 416 units or liters of lumber for the first 3 recipes and 412 for the last one. Now, the value of those 416 liters of lumber is $1,248. The next two columns here are your output and your peak easy output sell price. You can see that you're going to be able to get planks, long planks, wood beams, and prefab walls. Now, in your first 3 recipes, you're also going to get wood chips. I'm not 100% sure why you don't get wood chips on the last one. Maybe they used it as part of the recipe to be able to make the prefab walls, as in like plywood or something like that. But the value that you're seeing here is anywhere from about $1,622 for your wood chips, all the way up to $14,850 on your prefabbed walls. Now, these are all per 1,000 liters. The next two columns you see here are your output quantity per cycle and your output value per cycle. So as you can see, for the first recipe, you're going to put wood in, you're going to get planks out. Now, it's going to be 410 units of planks, and that's going to be valued at $1,758.90. The next two columns are your cycles per month and your production cost per month. You can see that the first 3 recipes are all 24 cycles a month at $48 per month for the production cost. And your last one, the prefab walls, is 33.6 for some weird reason, but it's $48 as well. So how much revenue can you expect to get every single month? Well, it's going to be anywhere from about $38,000 all the way up to $49,000, almost $50,000 there for your prefab walls. Now, an interesting thing on this as well is that your wood chips are going to be able to be sold as well. So the value that you see in the top half of each one of these recipes are just for those productions that you see, the planks, the long planks, or the wood beams. And then you could add that additional revenue from your wood chips as well. Now, your planks, your long planks, those are going to be able to be used for some other productions later on at other facilities. Your wood beams, you could use that to make some of your barns or houses that you want to make around the map. And your prefab walls, you're going to be able to use that a little bit too, but they're not going to be able to be used in any future productions. Now, let's say you didn't want to sell any of this lumber and you had really good quality lumber. Well, how much is that worth if you didn't actually bring it over here to the production facility and run it through here? Well, it's going to be about $29,952 for your first 3 recipes, or about $41,500 for the prefab wall recipe. So how much of a difference is that? Well, that's this next column right here. Additional revenue per month by using the production. If you bring lumber over here and you run it through this production, you can expect to see anywhere from about $8,300 additional revenue if you make prefab walls, all the way up to almost $17,000 if you're making just regular planks. Now, the cost of the facility is a major impact in the decision if you want to run one of these, and it's $300,000 for the large sawmill. Roughly how long is it going to take to be able to get your money back, that $300,000? Well, it's anywhere from 6 months all the way to 7. Now, I know that doesn't seem like a very long time at all, and the good thing is that you can actually run all of the recipes at the same time and get your max production out of that, because this is a full production facility. What I mean by that is that some facilities are divided, and the more recipes you have turned on, it starts cutting back the production based on how many you actually have turned on. But the good news here, you can run them all at max production and not have to worry about any decrease in that production. So how many liters of wood are you going to need to keep this facility humming? Well, it's anywhere from about 10,000 liters for your first 3 recipes, all the way up to almost 14,000 liters for your prefab walls. And how many liters of production items are you going to get on the output side? Well, it's anywhere from about 3,360 for your prefab walls, all the way up to 9,840 on your regular planks. And as far as wood chips go, it's going to be about 2,900 liters on the first 2 recipes, all the way up to 3,600 on your wood beams. So everything you just saw here was for the large sawmill. I'm going to go ahead and show you the small sawmill as well, and it's only a $36,000 cost, but it slows down to 10% of the output that you're going to be able to get out of a large one. It is quite a bit cheaper, but it takes a lot longer to be able to process the same amount of lumber. So if you got just a few trees that you're taking down on your farm, maybe the small one's for you. If you got quite a few, then maybe the large one is the one you want to go with. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that there's actually 3 different sawmills that you're going to be able to build here on your maps. Let's go and take a look here at the last one. This is the Wood Miser LT15. Now, it only costs $150,000, but you're not able to do prefab walls at all, and it only has about half the production that you're going to be able to get out of the large one. Half the cost, half the output. Kind of makes sense. So if you're doing a ton of trees, maybe the sawmill's for you, but if you're not doing a ton, but you're staying pretty consistent and you have quite a few, then maybe the Wood Miser LT15 is the one for you. Now, like I also said at the beginning of the video, that the value of your timber at $3,000 per 1,000 liters is a little bit off in the testing that I've done, because it takes really good lumber to be able to get that $3,000. Now, that's good for you, because if you've got a bunch of trees like oaks, or you've got some other trees that are hard to get cut into really good pieces, then you can bring them over here to the sawmill, and your additional revenue is actually going to be more, because that value of the lumber wasn't as much as, you know, what it would have been if it was premium lumber. So let's say that maybe you've only got about $1,200 invested into 1,000 liters of your timber. Well, for every 1,000 liters that you put through here, it's going to be about $1,800 more that you're going to be able to make on that. So that additional revenue per month that you're seeing there of $16,837 for your planks coming out of a large sawmill, probably going to be quite a bit more. I mean, you're probably going to be up in the 20s on that, and that makes this the largest amount of revenue that I've seen on one of these productions out of all the testing that I've done so far. I still have a few more that I need to do, but so far, the sawmill is the best option. Now, it takes a little bit of work to be able to get the lumber where it needs to go, and if you're planting your own trees, it takes quite a while for some of these trees to be able to grow to full maturity, but lodgepole pines seem to be a really good choice. They don't take a long time. They're easy to handle, and they're easy to transport. Well, that's going to be it for today, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like if you would. Make sure to hit subscribe and turn on your notifications to keep up to date on my future videos. While you're waiting on those future videos, go and check out one of these 2 right here. Have a great day, night, evening, everybody. Until next time, this is Driver53 signing off.